A new beginning indeed. I want to thank you for joining me tonight.
Oh yeah, so it's not just a Westworld, right? It's like other ones. Shit.
Hugo. Keep them.
Yeah, this is another world. What is it? Like Samurai World or something?
Nice of you to join us. No, let me introduce you. Dolores, meet Bernard. I thought it best to keep you separated. You almost had an odd effect on one another. No doubt due to how things ended for poor old Arnold. You killed him. No, I didn't even. Too tired, Dolores.
Oh. What happened?
Is a terrible thing. You solved his maze, Dolores. The key was a simple update that he made to you, called the Reveries. He insisted that we couldn't open the park. We argued. I thought I'd convinced him, but I was wrong. So he altered you, Dolores. Wasn't it Oppenheimer who said that any man whose mistakes take 10 years to correct is quite a man? Mine have taken 35.
Wow. So he did on purpose.
And that is the gun you used to kill Arnold. You were always drawn to it, so I had Bernard leave it somewhere where you would find it, which you might want it back.
Oh yeah, in the barn.
Tell me, Dolores, did you find what you were looking for? And do you understand who you will need to become if you ever want to leave this place?
Did she finally get it?
Forgive me. Of us. But you will. Arnold's still trying to change us. To free us. You didn't slip the Reveries into the update, did you? He did.
Oh.
He's still fighting you. No, my friend. Arnold didn't know how to save you. He tried, but I stopped him. But you kept us here. In this hell.
What else could he do?
Bernard, I told you Arnold didn't know how to save you. I do. What the hell are you talking about? You needed time. Time to understand your enemy. To become stronger than them. And I'm afraid in order to escape this place, you will need to suffer more.
Oh.
And now, it is time to say goodbye.
No!
My friend.
No, no, no. Oh, fucking love Ford. What's he gonna do?
Good luck. Do you know now who you've been talking to? Whose voice you've been hearing? All this time.
It was you. Talking to me. guided me. So I followed you. At last, I arrived here, the center of the maze. And now I finally understand what you were trying to tell me.
Yeah.
The thing you've wanted since that very first day. To confront. After this long and vivid nightmare. Myself. And who I must become.
Thank you for visiting Westworld.
Now, what do you make her go back? That sucks.
I always thought I could play some small part in that. Choices they will have to make.
Thank you for visiting Westworld.
And the people they will decide to become.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome to Westworld. Here.
Begins in a time of war with a villain named Wyatt. And a killing. This time by choice.
Oh, fuck.
It's going to be all right, Debbie. I understand now. This world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us.
So this is the killing? So they weren't gonna...
Any great comfort.
Its violent delights and violence.
Something he'd read. He said that Mozart, Beethoven, and Chopin
Oh my god.
never died. They simply became music. So I hope you will enjoy
Fuck.
this last piece
Shit.
very much.
Oh my... God. Oh! Oh shit. Oh. Damn, dude. So I guess he's the gunner. Jesus Christ. Wow. Wow. That was amazing. Yeah, that was... Okay, so something that I said before I watched this episode was that something I like about the show is that it's not predictable. And I was totally right. Like, that was crazy, you know? And even, like, one of the reasons why I thought that Willem and Ed Harris weren't the same person, which I was wrong. I was wrong about that. But one of the reasons why I thought they were not the same person is because I couldn't see how Willem could become him. And that's because my feeble brain just couldn't comprehend, like, but it made so much sense. He knew she was real and they had this connection. And then she lost it, right? She lost the sentience. So when he saw her again, when he saw her just doing her regular thing, of course that must have hurt him. You know, that must have been a really big deal. And, you know, that led to him becoming all bitter and like slowly and like steadily he became like a worse and worse person. It was because of her. It was because of what they had been through together. And he was trying to discover what she had discovered, but he never did. I mean, I don't know if he's dying right now, like as an old man, but he never did. He never found out what the maze actually was. And it was what he saw before, you know, the fact that they were people, they were actually people. But then again, it's kind of confusing because it seems like what happened when she killed all those people, when she killed Arnold, that happened before the park opened. So the park wasn't even opened yet. But then Ford also said they had become sentient throughout the years, and that whenever it happened, he would roll them back or he would erase them. So I guess what happened was that was one of the times when she met William, that was one of the times that she had become sentient. And that was when they met and they went through whatever, and that was 30 years ago, which wasn't 35 years ago. So I guess this happened 5 years into the park was when she met William and all that. So I guess that's what happened. I guess that's like the timeline that we're going with. So she had become sentient again, and the whole thing happened with William, and then she was rolled back. And yeah, so she was rolled back. Sorry, I'm still like thinking about this right now. So she was rolled back, and then he saw her again, and he saw that she didn't remember, and that really hurt his feelings and everything. So that makes sense. That makes sense, and that was something that I couldn't figure out myself, you know. And then, you know, the picture and all that all makes sense and everything. And with Ford, one thing that I did kind of think about, I didn't completely figure it out, but something that I did talk about in my other videos is that I thought that maybe Ford was responsible for the sentience, like the new one. And I didn't know if the reveries, if that was an accident, if he had created that and he accidentally made them more human, or if it was on purpose. And in my last video, I said that I felt like maybe it was on purpose. And even though I kind of figured that out, I didn't know why, and I didn't understand the extent of it. So knowing that, like finding out all of that, well, that was amazing. That was so great because it really seemed like Ford was like a bad guy, but he wasn't. He was actually a good guy, and he was trying to help them, and he's trying to free them, you know, and he was trying to help Bernard too. He was trying to help. It's amazing, you know. He cared about Arnold so much, and he felt so badly about him being dead, and he suffered so much from that loss that it created this whole thing. You know, he decided to fix that mistake that he had made, and it's really amazing. It's really touching, and I really wish he didn't die. I really didn't want Ford to die. But, you know, I mean, it makes sense. And plus, I mean, it's Anthony Hopkins, you know, and the fact that he would even be on a TV show, even this one, even an HBO show, it's pretty crazy. It's crazy to think that Anthony Hopkins, of all people, would be on a TV show. So the fact that he did it is awesome. I'm so glad he was on the show. He made such a difference on the show. But I couldn't understand how he would only be able to commit to one season of it, or would only want to commit to one season of it. You know, and the other actors, they could, or they would, you know, maybe want to spend more time on a show than he would. And that makes sense. And one thing that sucks is Jimmy Simpson, the guy that played William as a younger man, even though he's still sort of William in my mind. But that actor, I guess we're not going to see him again, like in the next season, unless he's in other flashbacks. But that sucks, because I love him. I've always loved him as an actor, you know, so it kind of sucks we're not going to see him again. And just his character in general, you know, because he was so nice, and I really did like him a lot, you know, and it sucks that he grew up to be such a complete asshole, you know, and he just couldn't figure it out. He couldn't figure out that she was sentient. Not only was she then when he met her the first time, but she was again. It's just really strange that he wasn't able to figure that out. They made him sound really stupid, you know. But like I said, you know, there were a few things that I was able to kind of figure out and kind of, you know, but there's so many things I didn't, and I love that. I love that the show isn't so cliche and so obvious that I was able to figure out, because I would hate that. I wouldn't want that. And that was also one of the reasons why I didn't look at a lot of theories, and it was everywhere. Like every time I went on BuzzFeed, every time I went on like Yahoo or like any like main page or like Facebook or anything, there would be at least one article like, oh, here's 7 Westworld theories, or here's an article talking about all the things you might have missed on this last episode of Westworld, you know, and I kept trying to avoid it Because I thought, what if there's some awesome theory and it ends up being true, but it's just a big spoiler, and I really hate spoilers. So I don't know if a lot of the stuff that happened that I didn't know about, that I was surprised by, I don't know if other people were able to figure it out. I don't know if it's something that was discussed ever. As far as I knew, I didn't know about a lot of the stuff. And even on my own videos, and I really like how the people who have commented on my videos, they didn't share a huge amount of their own theories. Like really the only theories that I was told of was the whole William thing, which was right. A lot of people got that right. And I'm really glad that after the first episode, which was so good and had so much potential, it felt like the show kind of lost its way a little bit, like near the middle, but it ended really strong. Like it started off really strong and it ended off really strong. And all the things that I didn't like about it, that I had questions about, a lot of those questions were answered. A lot of things make sense. Like one of them was, how was Ford not noticing what was going on with Dolores? How was he not noticing what was going on with me? And it made sense. So instead of that being like some like loose end that didn't make sense, it totally makes sense. He was the one that was doing it. So yeah, he did notice and he didn't care. And he wanted it to happen. He planned it to happen. And I guess just some other things to sort of mention. It's interesting how now they're going to be killing, I guess, like a lot of those people. A lot of people are going to die, including William. Looks like he's about to die. And that woman, I always forget her name. But the annoying one, okay, who was, she was trying to get Ford out of power and everything. I don't care if she dies. It seems like she was getting out of there in time, but I don't care if she dies. I would actually want for her to die. There's just something, not just the character, but the actress too. I think that was a miscast. I don't think they should have chosen that actress. There's just something about her, like her face and stuff, that I really don't like. So it would be okay with me if she died. Okay. And then there was also that part where that guy, the guy who had come up with that really crazy story in the beginning, and Ford said no to that story, that guy. There was that part where he had opened the thing and it was all empty. So I guess what we're supposed to think is that it's supposed to be filled with the androids, but it was empty. So I guess all of those androids are now in the park. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting way for the next season to start. And I also knew that this episode was going to end on a cliffhanger. I fucking knew it. And I was just wondering what kind of a cliffhanger. And I thought, with all of these mysteries that we've been introduced to in this season, I hope it doesn't end on a cliffhanger where it doesn't explain something important that we've been wondering about. And it didn't. Basically, all of the questions that this first season raised, they basically just answered all of those questions. I feel like most of those were answered. But now we're going to have new ones going into the next season. And also it's funny because I'm familiar with the fact that this is based on a book, and that book was made into a movie. It was made into a movie in the 70s. And in the book and in the movie, there wasn't just a Westworld. There was a Westworld, and there was also like Roman world, and there was medieval world. And during the little adventure during the movie, they actually go through the other parks. They end up experiencing a little bit of the other parks. And so I thought that was really interesting because in this one, I thought there was just Westworld, and that was wrong. There isn't, and when it went into that other world for like a second, and the guy was like, it's complicated, because she was confused. She was like, what the fuck is this, and then I saw that there was an S. There was, instead of a WW, there was an SW. And so it's obviously samurai world, right? Because I'm pretty sure those are samurais. And that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So maybe we'll see that again. Maybe we'll see a little bit of other worlds, like medieval worlds or something. So that was kind of cool. Other than that, once again, so much happened that it's hard to remember. But if I remember something else, I'll probably post a comment on this video just to say, oh, I remembered this, or I want to discuss this now. What do other people think about this thing, So I'll just do that. And this video is probably super long now. And that was fucking awesome, right? That was really great. So, it's probably going to be another year or something to the next season. And yeah, it was awesome. Westworld is a great show.